Okay, great. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our Maximizing Amazon Connect session today. First of all, I want to make sure the session is recorded. Because can we confirm the session is recorded? I just want to make sure.
Let me check that.
Thank you.
Yep, the recording is
Okay.
on.
Thank you. All right. So we have a full agenda today, so definitely would like to give you more time. We'll definitely have a fun session. Our topic today is optimizing your workforce with AI/ML and automation. Today will be more deep dive if it has a technical session. We will also have hands-on as well. First, my name is Jing Zhang. I'm the go-to-market specialist for Amazon Connect. My major responsibility is to bring all the new innovation from Amazon Connect into our customers and partners, make sure we give you the service you're looking for. I had 20 years experiences in the collaboration industry with multiple telcos and Cisco. So but very happy joined AWS 3 years ago, and since then we have a great journey with Amazon Connect. Now I'll have our experts online and I'll let them introduce themselves. Vikas?
Yeah, I can go first. Hey everyone, good morning, good afternoon. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Vikas Prashad. I'm a solutions architect at AWS and I specialize in Amazon Connect service. So yeah, looking forward to today's session.
Jonathan?
Good morning, good afternoon. Jonathan Ansell. Like Vikas, I'm a solution architect here at AWS, specializing in Amazon Connect. I've been here for about 2.5 years, but in the contact center industry for 25. So excited to share with you what we're able to do in this space. And I will hand over to Prabha.
Thank you, Jonathan. I'm Prabhakar. Like Jonathan and Vikas, I'm a specialized solutions architect for Amazon Connect. First of all, good afternoon, good morning, and for me, good evening. I live in Germany. If you're wondering why my screen is darker, I'm really looking forward to the session. So I'm going to work with you on a hands-on lab. It's going to be exciting. Zing, over to you.
Thank you. So let's go over the agenda today. Again, our experts and myself putting a lot of effort to prep the workshop today. So hopefully you enjoyed it too. We'll have a very short overview on what the solution is, and then we'll have a deep dive demo on the forecasting, capacity planning, scheduling, so you get a lot of details on not the existing functions, but also the new things we have delivered since we had a GA in 2022 at reInvent. But most fun, it will be the next hour. We'll have a hands-on lab of our QA automation using analytics to automate your quality management to process. So we'll have a lot of fun. I promise we'll give you enough time to enjoy it. And then, of course, I'll wrap up the call with call to action. There's some logistics I would like to handle first. First of all, please, Prabhu, can you put the link for the workshop first? So to save some time, well, I would like everyone to log into the workshop link. And so you will be able to, just in case there's any issues logging, we'll be able to have time to solve it for you. If you have any issues, please just using the Q&A panel, and our experts will help you to solve those issues. Make sure first going to the sign-in page and log in Amazon, and also the next step using the OTP options, and we'll also enter your emails. So we will be able to send you an email with the one-time password. And then, of course, and the next one, it will be make sure you check your junk folder as well, just in case. It will be great to use your personal email, because sometimes corporate email does block certain email domains. So please, if you use your personal email, it will make things easier and faster. Thank you. All right, Prabha already put the link for the workshop in the chat. Please use that and use the Q&A panel to tell us if you have any issues. Okay, we'll have a happy ride today. All right, I'll start as the very, very quick overview of Amazon Connect. And again, we're the one application to handle all your customer engagement with seamless experiences. Does not matter, it's for your customers, for your agents, for your supervisors, or for your managers. This is one platform, give you the capabilities, but also have all the data, be able to give you the insights and capture your next best actions to optimize your contact center. We have tens of thousands of customers using it right now, and it has, the Amazon retail site, that's where they're using to serve our customers. We have millions of contacts every day, handle more than 10 million contacts every day, has interaction. But we have a lot of customers working with us with different innovations too. We want to make it not easy to just adopt Amazon Connect, easy to start. For all the innovation we have, we would like also be able to give you an easy way to work with us together. That's why we offer free tiers, we offer promotions and the previews to work with our customer, so you can experience the innovation earlier. So if you're looking for what are the free promotions and the free tiers we had a session yesterday. Hopefully that's recorded and you will be able to find more details there. Okay, so today our focus will be our analytics, insight, optimization. If you were in the March session of Maximize Connect, we covered the real-time analytics, historical analytics, aggregated reporting, dashboards, etc. We also covered conversational analytics using contact lens, and then performance evaluation. So today we're going to cover the other half of the circle, which is our forecasting, capacity planning, scheduling, and also the latest released functions for performance evaluation automation, a full automation of your whole QA process. And that's where in the next hour, in the second hour of this workshop, you will have some hands-on workshop to try it out. And I'm very excited to be able to see, you can see we're adding those functions natively in Connect to make sure you not only have the capability to be able to use out-the-box functions and get to make your manager supervise the job easier, but also be able to have all the data speaking the same language. So you will be able to do your own customized reporting, do your own insights, your business intelligence and analytics. You will get more insights to optimize your operations. Okay, so behind the scenes, there are mostly two major modules there. First is the forecasting, capacity planning, scheduling, which will have more details in the next hour. Forecasting is mostly to predict your future demand, how your demand looks like. And then we use those forecasting data to be able to get capacity planning, which is more higher level resource planning for how many agents you need to hire, what time you need to train them in the long run at a higher level. Right, and then for your scheduling, that's where you're using the forecasting. We call a short-term forecast, and you will use it will give you call volume HT every single 15 or 30 minutes interval, and use data to put the right agent at the right time and be able to meet your SLA goals as well. In addition to this, you want to make sure your agents will adhere to the schedules, right? So you will have real-time adherence and also historical. We are working very hard to expand our regions too. We start with US East, West, London, and also Sydney. Now we're adding Singapore, Frankfurt, and Seoul, and Tokyo as part of course, and Canada into the regions to support the service. The next service we want to focus on is contact lens, which is it's not only just conversational analytics, but also quality management solution powered by AI. I'm not going to focus on too much on the conversational analytics piece because we already did that on March. But today our focus will be the new capability of fully automated QA process. Okay, with that, I would love to hand over to Jonathan and Vikas to have a deep dive demo on the forecasting and the capacity planning and scheduling. Thank you.
Thank you, Jing. This is Vikash. I will take over the screen, and for the next 10 minutes or so, I will be going over forecasting and capacity planning. So give me a minute. Right. Can someone let me know if you are able to see my screen?
See your screen.
Perfect. All right. So let's get started. So what you see on my screen is the Amazon Connect page on AWS console. Just the very first step to get started with this forecasting, capacity planning, scheduling is making sure this feature is enabled for your Amazon Connect instance. Once that's done, you need to make sure you have the right permissions. And once you have the right permissions, when you can go to analytics and optimization, you can see all the three features: forecasting, capacity planning, and scheduling. In case you don't see this, most likely you don't have the right security permissions. You can work with your admin to get those permissions added. So let's dive into forecasting. Here on the screen, you see under forecasting, we have 4 tabs. I will quickly go over and give a brief overview. So one of the first things once you get started is make sure that you have the right forecast and schedule interval defined. And a few important things to note here is this is something you need to make a decision upfront. Once you make this decision, you cannot change it. So what this essentially does is it provides you the granularity for both your short-term forecast as well as your schedule activity. So let's take an example. Suppose you need to schedule your agents to have a 15 minutes break, right? If that's a use case for you, you would want to use a 15 minutes interval granularity here. And another important thing to note here is if you are using this 15-minute interval and you plan on importing data, you will have to make sure that your historical data as well as a 15 minutes granularity. So that's the first tab on the right hand side. Next to it, we have import data, where you can bring in the historical data if you're migrating from some other contact center platform to Amazon Connect. In case you have been natively on Amazon Connect for a year, you don't need to bring any historical data. Amazon Connect can natively use the data that's available for generating forecasts. Next, we have the forecast groups. So here we allow you to group the queues into a forecast group so that you can create a forecast for a group of queues instead of individually creating for individual queues, right? An example is, suppose, let's pick one of them, like let me open one, Amazon support. So here you see there are 2 queues here, X sales 1, X sales 2. So what it shows is, like, suppose you have agents who work on these 2 queues, you can just group them together, create this forecast group, and the forecast would be generated for this group. So let's now go to the forecasting step. So once you are on the forecast tab, you can click on create forecast. You can select your forecast group, and then you select the type of forecast, long-term and short-term. Long-term forecast is used for capacity planning. Short-term forecast is used for scheduling. I have few forecasts that I've already created for this session. So let me open one of them. So let's look at this forecast and different sections that it provides. On the left-hand side, you can see there is a long-term and a short-term tab. So you can very easily switch between the long-term and the short-term tab. Let me do that. And there are 2 views. At the center, first you have a graphical view, and at the bottom you have a tabular view. So you get to see both the views. Here you can select the date range. You can define the granularity. Do you want to look at 15 minutes, daily, weekly, or monthly granularity? Let me select daily here. And on the right side, there are a lot of filters to select different types of data, to group the data. So let me select, by default, you have last computer forecast selected. Let me select the last published. Note that the published forecast is the one which is used for capacity planning and scheduling. Computed forecast is something that gets auto-generated. So the short-term forecast will be generated every day, every night, and the long-term forecast would be generated once every week. So very easy to compare between the last computer forecast, last published forecast, and actual. You can also look at the variance. So here in what you see here is the black line is the last published forecast. Then you have this turquoise color, kind of bluish last computed forecast, and you can easily look at the difference. You can group by queues or channels. Like suppose if I want to look at by queues, you can select and it gets grouped by the queues, or you can also select the channels, the voice or the chat channels, and you can even filter. So all these options are available for you. Additionally, at the top, if you can see, there are a few options. The right side top, you see this publish forecast. So the way it works is, as I mentioned earlier, when your WFM manager, workforce management analyst comes here, they prepare forecast, but at that time it's not published. They can make edits to this forecast using this actions button. So here you see there is an option to even override it. So one use case would be like, suppose in the next month you have a new product that's getting launched, you know you are going to have higher than usual call volumes. Here there will be one thing you can do is you can come here, override this forecast before you published it, right? And once that's, you also have option to download the last computer forecast. You can also download the last published forecast. All those options is available within the single UI page. Next, let's look at capacity planning. So once the forecast is generated, the long-term forecast output is going to be used for capacity planning. Here's the capacity planning page, which also you can go under analytics and optimization, and you can click on capacity planning. A few things here, the right hand side tab is import data. This is an optional step here. You don't have to do it, but what it does is it helps you to put the future shrinkage data, both in office, out office shrinkage data, as well as FT information. So there is a button on the right hand side called upload data. It provides you a CSV template, and you can upload both FT and shrinkage information. And what we have found is like this helps you get more accurate capacity planning. And so that you can have send these capacity plans generated, sent to your different departments, like maybe human resource, training, for them to use. So that's the import data tab. Next is you define the different scenarios. So capacity planning is all about running different what if analysis. You can run different scenarios, as many as you want. For each of those scenarios, first you will create that scenario. So you give a name, description, what occupancy you want, then what is your daily attrition, what is your hours per week, days work, and different options. But one thing to note is like all this capacity plan will be generated based on the optimization inputs you provide. You have two options here. You can select the service level or the average speed of answer. Right now on my screen, you see an example that the service level is 85% of voice calls are answered within 30 seconds. So I can generate a scenario first. And once I have a scenario, I can generate capacity plans. So on the capacity plans tab, you have the generate plan option. When you come here, you will have to select the forecast group, and you will have to also select the planning scenario. Once you have selected that, you can generate a capacity plan. I already have a few generated. Let's look at one of them. So for this capacity plan that you see on my screen, you can easily see like what were the inputs selected: max occupancy 85%, full-time hours 40 hours, and then you get a weekly output here. So for the week of April 2 to April 8, if you see, you can look at like what's the required FT and what's the forecasted occupancy. And here if you see like with shrinkage data, right, the data which we imported, we see that with shrinkage we need 25 FT, but you have only 23 FT. So there is a gap of 2%. There is a gap of 2 FT, which translates to a gap of 9%. And so you require 9% overtime to match that gap, right? So you get this weekly data generated. You also have an option to download it. And before publishing a capacity plan, you can override it. But after you have published, like this one is already published, so I cannot override it. But the idea here is like, once you have a capacity plan generated, you can download it. If you need to override, you can make those overrides and then you publish it. Once published, that's cannot be edited. All right, so that gives a quick overview of forecasting and capacity planning, and then I will hand over to my colleague Jonathan, who will go over scheduling.
Thanks, Vikas.
Sure.
Let me go ahead and share my screen. And if you could confirm for me that you're able to see the homepage.
Yeah, I can see the homepage.
Awesome. Fantastic. So scheduling, like forecasting and capacity planning, is located under our analytics and optimization menu. And I'll walk you through the steps that it takes to generate your first schedule. So typically we'll start with shift activities, and shift activities represent anything that one of your agents could do in the course of a normal work day to allow them to do things other than their primary job of handling interactions. Let me go ahead and reshare my screen really quickly so that we're not getting the pop-ups anymore. All right. Vegas, if you can confirm that I'm still sharing, the screen's now visible.
Yeah, I can see your scheduling
Perfect
page.
Yep. Yeah. Awesome. So as I was saying, shift activities represent anything that an agent would do in the course of their day that's not handling interactions. So things like breaks, lunches, one-on-ones, team meetings, trainings, time off would represent a shift activity. I can define those activities, whether they would be considered non-productive or productive. If I'm defining a non-productive activity, I can choose if they're going to be have a subtype of break or meal, and we'll see where that subtype comes in when you're defining rules around break separation or frequency of breaks. We can define if it's requestable by staff, such as time off or voluntary time off. And Vikas will show you a little bit more about how we're managing time off and how agents can request time off, my duration, my adherence, whether it would be considered paid or unpaid time. And I can add as many of these different activities as I need to for my contact center. And the activities are available to any schedules done within the contact center, so different groups aren't having to define activities multiple times. You're able to use these across any shifts that you need to. The next step would be creating our shift profiles, and I have a number of different shift profiles and their associated activities there. I'm going to go ahead and pick on my Monday to Friday day shift. One big enhancement that we came out with recently is the ability to define the time zone of your shift profile. So you're able to do all of your scheduling in your local time zone. You'll see later, Vikas is in Eastern time. I happen to be in Mountain time, and the schedule is going to display for me in my time zone, but I'm able to define what time zone should be considered within the schedule. I can define the working days. I can define if those days should be considered flexible or working. So if I want the scheduling engine to always assign a shift to an agent for that day, I would choose working. If I want the system to assign a shift based on the forecasted demand, I can choose flexible, and the system will optimize the schedule to minimize under or overstaffing to best optimize your workforce. I define my start and end time in the time zone I've selected. And if I had a shift, in this case, I happen to have an 8-hour shift. If I had a shift range that went longer than I wanted an agent to work a particular day, I could define a shift length for that day. And the scheduling engine will assign a shift of that duration within the start and end time defined in my shift profile. So allowing you to meet the staffing needs of your contact center, giving you the flexibility to schedule as you need to. I define the shift activities I want to automatically be created as part of this schedule. So things like breaks, I'm also able to define when I want this activity to occur. So I want to make sure my agents have worked at least an hour before they get their first break, but my work rules say that I need that break to take place in the next 2 hours. I can define the same thing for lunch. So 3 hours from the start, and I need it to take place in the next hour. And I can add as many different activities as I want that I want to have automatically assigned. I'm also able to create multiple shift activity groups. So I always have a default activity group, but I could also say if I have differing lengths of shifts, perhaps I have some agents that work 5 8-hour workdays. I have some that work 4 10-hour workdays, or perhaps I have some part-time agents that only work 6 hours a day. So those agents, if they only work 6 hours a day, perhaps they don't need a lunch. I only want to give them a single break. So I'm able to just go ahead and add that activity in, and it's going to schedule those activities based on the shift length for those different agents. I'm also able to define rules. We talked about break and lunch subtypes, so I can define a minimum distance between breaks, a maximum distance between breaks, maximum number of days worked or days off. So you're able to define the shift profile that aligns to your regulations in your country, internal or external work rules, union rules. You can account for all of those when creating your shift profiles. After I've created my shift profiles, I'm going to go ahead and create my staffing group. And the staffing group is just simply a group of agents that work a particular shift. So I have my Amazon night support, my Amazon day support. I'm going to go ahead and open up the day support. I have my supervisors that are part of that. And as a supervisor, I can be a supervisor for one or many staffing groups. I assign the agents that I'm interested in being part of this staffing group. So think of a particular manager and their direct reports would be a common pattern for a staffing group. I'm able to define any rules I want to have. So things like minimum staff. So perhaps the forecast may indicate that there is no demand at a particular interval, but my contact center is open. So I want to make sure that I always have at least one person staffed at any particular time in case an interaction comes in. I can also define if I want everyone to start at the same time. Perhaps demand indicates that, I only need 2 people at 9 a.m., but at 9:30 I need 6 people. However, I want all of my agents in at 9 a.m., so I could define the same start time as my strategy. I'm also able to define a minimum and maximum working hours to ensure that my agents aren't working more than 45 hours per week, for example, but I need to make sure they're working at least 36 hours because they're full-time staff. And I'm also able to define if I want my agents to be able to request time off and if I want to require supervisor approval for that. I could also set a group allowance where based on the allowance I define, a certain number of employees' requests for time off would automatically be approved. So you can automate as much as you want, or you can maintain the control by requiring that supervisor approval. And Vikas will show you a little more later on about how that works and what it looks like from the agent's perspective. And the last piece before creating a schedule is defining my staff rules. So defining things like what time zone my agents are in. And I can define it for one, for all, or any number of different agents based on their time zone. I can, if I happen to have an agent that works a very unique shift profile, thinking of working with a lot of universities where students perhaps have unique requirements, I could assign a shift profile just to a particular agent or agents. So I'm not having to create multiple staffing groups to meet the needs of my staff. How is my voice coming across clearly, Jing, or is the audio bad?
Audio is good.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool. All right, just checking. So I can assign a unique shift profile to agents that may have unique work requirements. I can define things like minimum and maximum working hours per day, per week, consecutive working days, the gap between shifts. Perhaps if I have agents that work different shifts or work a swing shift, I'm able to define the time off. And all of these settings are optional. You can configure the settings that are relevant for you without requiring you to make any additional changes. Time off is simply where you import that group allowance to define how many agents could take off based on the allowance you define. So once I've defined everything, I go ahead to generate my schedule. And generating a schedule is as simple as choosing my forecast group, the start and end time of my schedule, and you can schedule out to 18 weeks into the future, and then defining the service level or average speed of answer I want to have. And I'm able to choose that whether I want it a different service level. Perhaps I want 90% within 30 seconds for voice, but I'm okay with, hitting 75% within 60 seconds for chat. Or I could set the same service level for both channels. So giving you the flexibility to align to your business requirements. Once I've created the schedule, it generates in a few minutes. And I can see here, I also indicate if there were any particular warnings. So I created one here where I've understaffed the schedule. So it's created a number of warnings for me. I'm able to look at this schedule. I can view it based on, let's go ahead, jump ahead to today. And we'll go ahead and cancel that. And so I can see here at a glance where I perhaps am overstaffed. If I hover over it, it'll show me the exact numbers of what my forecasted demand is versus scheduled agents. So I'm overstaffed by 2 agents here versus understaffed by 2 here. I can also see what my service level is. And so the colors indicate what the forecasted service level is going to be for the different channels. I can see all the different activities that my agents have. If I wanted to add an activity such as a one-on-one meeting with an agent, I could go ahead and define that. I'm also able to define shared activities. So for a one-on-one, I would choose an individual activity since it's between me and one of my agents. If I were doing a team meeting, I might choose shared activity, and then I can choose the relevant staff that I want to have for that activity. So I can easily add those activities, define the start and end time. It will validate it against all the work rules to make sure that I'm not violating any of the regulations or work rules that I've defined for my contact center. Once I have everything settled for my schedule, I go ahead and publish it. And by publishing it, I make it available to my agents, to my frontline managers. And then they're able to view that within the published schedule calendar view. Go ahead, jump ahead to tomorrow. And let's go ahead and expand this out a little bit. And I can see here that I saw that I was understaffed at 10 a.m. So I went ahead and put out a request for overtime. We'll see what that looks like from the agent's perspective. But I also want to take a look at Friday and see how I'm looking there. I'm also understaffed at 10 a.m. for an hour. So I'm going to go ahead and put in another request for overtime to see, if I have any agents that are interested in working a little bit extra so that I ensure that I'm hitting my service levels. And we'll see again from Vicus's perspective. I'm putting this in for 10 a.m. I happen to be in Mountain Time. Vicus is in Eastern Time. So we'll see how what I'm doing here is going to be reflected in his time zone. So I'm not having to do any sort of calculations, figure out an offset. Am I in Arizona where they don't observe daylight savings time, any of those things? I can choose my activity. I can choose if I want to do it by staffing group or by staff. I could select individual staff I wanted to offer this overtime request to. I'm going to go ahead and choose staffing group here, and I saw that I was understaffed by 2 people there. So I'm going to go ahead and set my staff count to 2 and go ahead and put that request in, and it will go out to all of my agents in the staffing group. And I can see I have 2 overtime requests that I've put out for subsequent days there. I could see any pending time off requests that are waiting approval. So I can go ahead and approve Nick's time off request here and confirm that. So very easy to manage requests coming from my agents for time off, as well as put out opportunities for overtime. And I can see here 0 of 2 agents have accepted that overtime request. Once 2 agents have accepted the request goes ahead and vanishes from all the other agents. So I'm giving every agent equal opportunity, but I'm not having to manage, via email, Slack, instant message, how many agents that are taking it and who requested it first. The system manages all of that for me. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and turn it back over to Vikas so he can show you how manage time off requests, overtime from the agent perspective, as well as talk a little bit more about how we're handling time off in general. Vikas?
All right. Thank you, Jonathan. Let me share back my screen. Okay. Let's start with this scheduling screen. Okay. Jonathan, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, I am.
Perfect. So this is the scheduling view for the supervisor that Jonathan just walked you through. And I will be showing you more of the agent view. A few things more here, like in the scheduling view, I will select, I can filter by the staffing group here, filter. So let me select Amazon support. Here in the day queue, I have one agent, agent 0104. So let's look at this agent and we'll see like what does the agent see from their perspective. So let me bring the agent screen here. So, all right, so this is the agent workspace, which at the top, at the middle top, where you see my cursor, there is a calendar button, which the agents can click to open their view of the calendar. And it's not tied to this agent workspace. This URL you can embed in your own portal of choice, right? But for this demo, I'm just using agent workspace. Once the agent clicks this, they are able to look at the calendar view. So here is my agent 0104. Agent can look at the weekly scheduling, what time they need to start, and you can set the time zone, whatever is required by this agent. If my agent works from Eastern time zone, and it gives you that time, like when they need to do what time they need to start working, what time they do lunch. Right now, if you see, it's there are some overtime requests, and let's click here and see if there are any overtime requests. So yes, for April 26th, there is some request from the supervisor, Jonathan, and this agent is going to accept it. Sure, I can take this one. And the agent can accept this request. All right, so one request is accepted, and on the same thing, once we go back to the supervisor screen, like in a few seconds, you will see like the supervisor can also see that one of the agents accepted this. I will be showing you that as well. Let me quickly show you how the agents can request time off. So here at the left-hand side bottom, they can click on the time off. So once on the time off, they can select the activities. So these are the activities that Jonathan showed you. You define as shift activities. So here, this agent can pick PTO. And one thing you will notice here is the agent can see the available balance right away. So they can see, okay, they have 80 hours of balance left. And suppose this agent wants time off for next week, Monday, 29th. I will select that date. And then some family event for this agent. So we need to take a day off. So let me request this one. And this request seems like canceled. Maybe this agent was not working on this day. So if you see, there's no schedule for this agent on this Monday. So let's go back and see this one. All right, they have it accepted for 29th. All right, so maybe I was looking at the old one, sorry, April 17. So April, here if you see the one I placed today, and for April 29, this got accepted. It got auto accepted because this agent had the required balance. And it's totally your configuration. You can set it up to be manually approved by manager or it be auto approved. So in my case, I had a setting where if the agent has balance, it gets auto approved. So, and you also see here that the calendar got updated. So for this agent, you see for Monday 29, this calendar is updated. It shows as PTO now. And let's also go back here to 26. So Friday 26, you can also see that this agent accepted the overtime request that was sent by the supervisor. And let's see once more for the supervisor view. So I will bring in the supervisor calendar here, and all the notifications for supervisors, they can see on this right hand side top next to the actions. They can click here. So let's see here, the supervisor Jonathan sees that, okay, 1 out of 2 accepted. So he can open this, look like waiting for this agents to accept, but he can see that, okay, agent 104 has accepted the overtime request. So it's all automated. Next, they can also look at the time off. They can look at this request from agent 104. They requested PTO, it was accepted. Here you notice that the supervisor still has an option to override it. That at the bottom you can see this decline request option. I will not use it, but just letting you know those options are available. Okay, so that was few things, how it's the view available for the agent, what self-service the agents can do on their own. Let me also go to this last topic here, for which agent adherence. So that adherence is to make sure that the agents are following your schedules, and so that you can meet your service levels and your customer satisfaction. So we provide here both real-time as well as historical adherence. So both is available. And the way to access that is you will have to go to the Amazon Connect admin page. Let me maximize this page. And you need to go to real-time metrics. On the real-time metrics, you will have agent adherence. So here, this is a test environment, all I created for this workshop purpose, but here you can see for each of the agent, you can see the adherence status. It shows agents are non-adherent, what is the adherence duration, and what's the schedule status. So just a recap, the way Jonathan already covered it, when you create an activity, and I can go back to the scheduling shift activities page. So when you create an activity, you define whether you want the adherence to be measured. So if you have any field defined as adherence as yes, and if it's a published schedule, we automatically measure the adherence, and that's what you see on the real-time page. So if an agent is scheduled to be productive and they are a available status, then they are considered adherent. But if they are on a schedule status as productive, but they are not in an available status, they are considered non-adherent. So We can share the link for our documentation. It is very good examples to understand different scenarios where they are considered adherents, when they are considered non-adherent. One example is, suppose for the lunch. Let's take the example of an activity lunch. Suppose you have that activity as a measure the adherence for that activity, right? So if during that lunchtime the agent does not change their status and are still on available status during the lunch, when they are not supposed to be on available status during lunch because they need to take the lunch, they will be marked as non-adherent, because during the lunchtime they should go ahead and change their status available to some status like lunch, right? That would be one example. Next, not only if we have real-time adherence, we have historical metrics also available for agent adherence. So you can look at go to the agents in historical metrics, and in the metrics, you can select the metrics here. So if you type adherence here, you can see all the adherence related metrics, adherence time. You can apply this, and that's how you can get the adherence data for all your agents. So this brings us to the end of forecasting, capacity planning, and scheduling feature. We will be moving to our next exciting workshop, and I will ask Prabha to join here and start initiating our workshop here.
Thank you, Vikas.
Yeah, go ahead, Prabha.
Hopefully everybody enjoyed the forecasting, capacity planning, and scheduling. Now, we're going to look into QA, especially automation of QA. Let me quickly share my screen before we go ahead. So how is everyone feeling? There's a lot of information, so I'm going to share my screen. Just trying to find the right screen to share. All right, I'm going to share my old screen. I'll change later. Let me know if you can see my screen. Vikas, Jonathan, can you see my screen?
I can.
Yes,
Yes,
Awesome.
we can. Yeah.
So very cool. Thank you. So before we talk about the workshop, etc., let me talk about the use case. If you attended the business session yesterday, Zing showed us a couple of demos yesterday on 2 scenarios. I picked up one scenario, and we're going to work all together. So scenario is simple. As a QA admin, I want to automatically evaluate all the customer interaction escalate to supervisor. What do you mean by that? Imagine in your contact center, customer escalated some issues to, they want to talk to a supervisor. And in this scenario, a supervisor would like to automate everything of all the calls where somebody said that I want the call to be spoken to supervisor, I want to escalate, etc. We're not going to do manual work. We're going to completely automate it. How are we going to do that? I'm going to talk about a step now, then we're going to really build it together as a team. To start with, we're going to create a simple contact lens rules. That it could be any rule you like. I mean, here we're going to create a simple rule that is basically, can you guys hear me? I think I lost you for a second.
We can hear you.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, something with audio. But anyways, so we're going to start the creation of the rules. Once the rules are created, we're going to create a farm, QA farm completely from scratch. I'll tell you how to do that, etc. And we're going to create questions. We're going to create manual answers, etc. And after that, that's a core thing we're going to focus on. That is enabling the full automation. So let me show you what I'm going to do here. So we're going to focus most of the time on full automation. It's a newly released feature. wherein by enabling a full automation, you don't need to manually do a evaluation. You can do it automatically. That's the thing we're going to focus on. Not only we're going to focus on, we're going to build it together. And after that, we have a small testing scenario. I'm going to put a script in here. We're going to do a testing. Since we are in a virtual world, we can do a chat scenario, but it could be for the voice as well. Once this is completed, we look at the time, how we are doing with the time. If we have time, we'll create an alert for notification. That is, of course, it's great to do automated evaluation form. I want to notify a supervisor where something bad is going on. That is, the score of the agent is really bad, etc. Then you want to alert in, your supervisor. So we're going to create an alert. After that, we're going to publish and test it. That's really it now. Any question? Of course, I can't see the question. Anybody has anything to add here? If not, we'll directly go to the workshop now. So let me share my screen again. Perfect. There you go. So, because Jonathan, can you see my screen?
Yep.
I can.
Okay. So if you don't mind, can you put the URL for the workshop? I want to make sure that everybody logged in.
Yep, I'll take care of that.
Okay, thank you. So I sent the URL. I saw quite a few people already logged in. So if you haven't logged in, please click on the URL link sent by Jonathan. Once you click on the URL link, you're gonna enable the email OTP. Click on an email OTP. The OTP pin will be sent to an email, something like this. And copy and paste it here. You will in the. You'll
Just want to make sure the link is in the chat, not in Q&A. Everybody knows it's in the chat.
It is in the chat.
It is in the chat. Okay, very cool. Perfect. Yeah. I'll give a minute for people to log in so we can jump in. So once you're logged in, once you accept everything, you will be in this screen. Let me quickly validate how many people already logged in. Awesome. I see quite a few people already logged in there. Okay. Perfect. Unfortunately, I can't see the scene, Jonathan, because any question there, you guys need to stop me. I will start with the workshop now. Once everybody logged in.
Yep. No outstanding questions right now, but
okay,
we'll let you know.
Okay, awesome. Very cool. So, as I told, we're gonna start with the creation of a simple rule. Before that, I would like to do a few things. We're going to follow this workshop, but this is a pretty big one. So instead of that, we're going to do a bespoke workshop where we're going to focus on automation. So we all are going to do it together in a way. So to start with, click on Open AWS Console here, which is US East 1. Click on that. It will make you to log into AWS Console. If people who are never logged into AWS Console, this is the place wherein you can log into various services. For this workshop, we already built a contact center for you. The few things already been automatically created for each and every individual person who are logged in. So it's already there. To start with, you're going to log into Amazon Connect. Great. You should have this here. Once you logged into Amazon Connect, please click on Instant Alias. It could be one of the names here. Just start with WS here. You will have something similar. Just click on that. I'll give a couple of seconds before everybody logged in. I would like to validate a few things before we jump ahead. So the first thing to look is we're going to do it via chat, I explained. So we're going to enable the chat logging. So to start with, click on data storage. we already have a call recording enabled. We're going to enable a chat transcript because in this workshop, we're going to test with chat. So click on edit, enable chat transcript, and just select the existing S3 bucket. So basically what I did is I went to data storage. I enabled the chat transcript. I'm going to choose the existing S3 bucket. Then click on, you probably have only one S3 there. So just click on whatever it is. It's not a production environment. You don't need to enable encryption here and click on save. I will give a couple of moments for everybody to log in. So one more thing to everyone. So everybody as a dummy user created, that's the username and password. We're going to use it in a way. So I pasted to everyone in the chat, and we're going to use it now. It's a dummy user which is already created for you. So it's everybody will have the same username. Perfect. Okay. Since everybody logged in, I will give a couple of seconds. Okay. Now all your prerequisites are set. We have a fully working Amazon Connect contact center. We enable the call and as well as chat recording. And also, if you need to check, it's already done for you. It's a place we enabling contact lens. Without that, you can't do it in real world, but it's already done for you. So if you're wondering why I didn't do that, because it's already done for you. So if you're new to Amazon Connect, how to log into Amazon Connect is pretty straightforward. This is the access URL. Click on the link. It will basically open up a URL here. So you're going to enter the username and password I gave you. That is, username is duser, and the password is password capital D user 01 exclamation.
Hey, Prabhu, there is question here. Paul says we are not seeing the options to click on when we are on the console. I don't know if that has resolved or not.
Okay. So this is the URL. You mean, so just to understand, you cannot click on the access URL? If anybody logged in, just give us a thumbs up or let us know you're logged in. I just want to make sure it's affecting one person or everyone. Perfect. Yeah, thank you. Somebody give me a thumbs up, which is great. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's not intuitive. I can't talk to you, so I'm really working on blind here. Thanks for working with me. Perfect. Yeah, awesome. Thank you. Great. Thanks for giving me a thumbs up. The thing, I believe it's only one person, so I can't see it. If you cannot log in, it's just click on the link, or you can copy paste it in the browser URL.
Sure, thank you.
That's the new.
Because can you work? Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Zing. So the password is the one I pasted there. So click on sign on. Oops. Right. Just a second. Okay. Yeah, there you go. So I didn't enter the password well. So once you enter the password, you'll be logged into Amazon Connect. I'm pretty sure most of people here are Amazon Connect users, but if you're seeing it the first time, I'll tell you in a while, but I'll give a minute for everybody to log in first. During the time, I can take a couple of Q&As. Anybody have trouble? I guess because it's working with Paul, so anybody has any trouble? Perfect. Okay. All right. So everybody logged in as a D user. We're gonna start with creation of a simple rule. Now that's our thing. Our idea is to create a simple rule, which we'll be using in your QA form, and we can automate the QA form. That's our step. So let's create a very simple.
Prabhat, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Just one quick thing. Can you once just more go back to the console and show the link? Because I think there's some confusion. One link before that, the tab on your left, right? So I
This one?
think that's where the confusion is. So here on the left hand side, there's this open AWS console, right?
That's right. Yes.
So I think that's what you need, Paul, right? If you need to click that, that's where you need to use to get back to the AWS console.
That is right. Yes. Paul, let us know. So, Paul, I think you can talk. If you have, you can ask the question directly. So that's under AWS account access. So if you click on that, it will open up the. Oh, okay. So
I don't
I
think
just.
audience can talk. Yeah.
Okay, no worries. No, perfect. Yeah. So because it's right under the AWS account access.
Yep.
Okay.
Thanks, brother.
Awesome.
Yeah, go ahead.
Perfect. Yeah. Once you click on it, Paul, you come to AWS services. Within there, you click on Amazon Connect, will be on your left-hand side. Once you click on it, you will see the overview here. And one thing you got to do is like you got to enable the chat. But once you do that, you're all set to log in. Perfect. Yeah, we'll give it a minute. Everybody logs in, then we can go ahead. We're going to do it together, so we do have time, so we are fine.
Right. And one more question I would answer for Nilsson is once you're on the console home, you can search for Amazon Connect service because yeah, you need to search for Amazon Connect service in the search option, like Prabha, you can put your cursor there,
Yep.
right? And then we can type Amazon Connect and that will bring you the
Indeed.
Amazon Connect service.
Indeed. That's right. Yeah. There are multiple ways we can do that. So everybody will have Amazon Connect on the left. You can search for it here, or you can use the services here. You can also find it here. So there are multiple ways. So the best way for you is just click on the left because it's already configured for you.
Right, and once you go and once you are able to click on Amazon Connect service, you will see this instance,
Yeah.
which you have here on the screen that Prabha is sharing, and then you can, once you click on that instance, then you will land on the same page that Prabha has on his screen right now.
Indeed. Yeah. Thank you, Vikas. Let me know, Paul. Just give a thumbs up once you're logged in. Yeah, Rupa has a question. Hey, Rupa, can you just put your question in the Q&A?
Yeah, I see Nelson was able to log in, so that's great.
Perfect. Awesome. Great. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Nelson. Cool. Rupa, what's your question? You good? Okay. All right. Let's give a moment for everyone.
Rupa is good too. So
okay, very
yeah,
good. Thank you, Vikas. Thanks for checking in. Great. Yeah. I guess most people are logged in. I guess we'll give Nelson Rupa a couple of minutes. So yeah, and once you're Nelson Rupa, once you're logged in, you will see the screen here. We're really going to start with the creation of a rule now. It's going to be a pretty straightforward rule. People using contact lens, they know it well, but we'll do from scratch. So to create a contact lens rule, you just got to go to analytics and optimization, the one because showed before, but you will not see it forecasting because I haven't enabled it. So within analytics and optimization, under contact lens, there is an option called rules. Just click on that. Once you are here, you're going to look into choose contact lens post chat to see any rules already there. You probably won't have it. I just want to make sure it's anything there. So let's create a rule. Our rule is going to be a simple rule wherein we're going to validate your call wherein agents are giving a proper welcome greeting. To do that, create a rule, conversation analytics, within the when option, you're going to go for a contact lens post-call analytics is available. We have 4 options here. You could create a rule for voice post-call, voice real-time, and for chat post-call and chat real-time. We're going to go with the chat now for this demo purposes. So just click on a contact lens post chat analytics is available. Click on that. I'll be doing it slowly, so everybody's doing it with me together. So for people, maybe it may be too slow, but let's all do as a team. So perfect. How to add a condition within contact lens? I'm not going to go through all the details. There are multiple ways we can set the contact lens rules. Now we're looking at a simple welcome greeting. We're going to go for words or phrases exact match. Click on that. What we're going to say is like, is the agent during the entire conversation mentioned any of the welcome message has been told by your company? So before we need to type manually. Now we can import the word collections. We have a set of like inbuilt contact lenses are available. We're going to use the existing one. So click on import from word collection and search for welcome or greetings. Yeah, let's go for greetings. Click on add. You see, you already have quite a few things already available. It's not only this, you can also add that your own rule as well, phrase as well. Thank you for calling any company. You don't need to do that. I just want to show you it's possible. If it's not like you need to use the only rule which is available here, we can add more if required. So once you choose there, click on next. I'll wait a bit. Just give me give a thumbs up. Everything's fine for you so far. Perfect. Thank you. Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't hear and see you. I'm going with virtual thumbs up. Thank you. Thank you for doing it. Then click on next. We're going to create a category simply general welcome. What this rule is doing is going to categorize every call which is coming to contact center. If you enable contact lens for the particular flow, and it's going to categorize in this general welcome. So click on next. And finally, save and publish. Once it's completed, you will see something like this: general welcome under contact lens post chat. It's very important. When I was testing it before, always creating in the voice. So I do the chat, then it comes up. So make sure you're doing it in the contact lens post chat. I'll give it a moment to everyone before I go to the next stage. Hope it's clear for you so far.
The reason we want to choose in chat today is because we don't want you to make a real call. Chat will be much easier.
Indeed.
To do the workshop. Yeah.
Indeed. Yeah. I was thinking we were talking like maybe we should have 2 people calling in, but we fall that. Nah, let's go chat. Thank you. Thanks for giving me a thumbs up. Awesome. All right. Great. I think next step is very critical. So I want to make sure everybody done with this. The next thing is like we're going to create an evaluation form. That's where we're going to spend next probably 20 minutes together. Create a form, and we do automation on anything if you want to escalate kind of rule. So that's what we're going to do now. Good. Let's go for the evaluation form. To do that, it's again under analytics and optimization. It's right below contact lens. It's called evaluation forms. Okay. If you want to learn more about it, it's in the workshop, how exactly looks like. But anyways, I'm going to walk you through in detail. So if you would like to know more, it's right here. Let me give you the link. But you can do that after the call. So this workshop is going to be available for next 24 hours. So you don't need to do that now. You can do it later. Perfect. But we're going to learn it together here. So let's do it. So to create a form, click on Create New Form. First thing, obviously, title. Since we are doing compliance, I'll make it as a compliance form. It's the same, similar set of thing. You can't have spaces, etc. And also, you can also have a special character. So click on OK. That's the name of the form is created. There are a few things in a way. Let me explain it before I build things. So within forms, we have sections and questions. Sections are nothing but you are more expert than me. Within sections, you could separate your questions in sections. For example, it could be agent characteristic, it could be transaction characteristic, it could be a customer. You can create a form on a particular topic. So that's a section here, but we're going to focus predominantly on an agent now. Or make it as a compliance, so I'll just make it as a compliance section. It could be any, to be honest, depending upon your need. That's the section. If you want to add one more section, you basically add one more. You'd make it a transaction. So we don't do that. So I'm going to only create one section. So I just want to show you that you could create a multiple sections here. That's a section. And the next thing you see here is you could add another subsection behind it. It's a compliance. It could be an agent compliance. It could be a customer compliance. It could be multiple stuff. You could create a subsection within there. And the next thing is obviously the importance of the question. I will cover that. Question and answers, we're going to do that. So I have a couple of questions has been asked. Is there a correct thing? How to import from a Word collection? So within the contact lens rules, you know what? I'll show you to people there, so I can come and create one more time. So within rules, I think one of the people had a question. How to import a Word collection? It's a new feature released. So let's go for post chat. So people are wondering how to import anything. So let's create a contact lens podcast analytics, add a condition, words and exact match. Previously, you got to enter it manually, like escalate to supervisor and add. You could add few things manually. Now, there's an option called import from Word collection. And within there, we have a set of predefined rules you could do start with. So for example, weasel words, let's try to add it. See, some people may say in general, a lot of weasel words, you know, of course, we use it in our conversation, like what I said, of course, you know, that kind of stuff you could figure out. You know, we have multiple different import word collection functionality. So in this, for now, I use greetings as a word collection. That's what I use now. So you can create a rules, anything you like, because whatever rules you're creating, you want to do a testing. So let's go with the greetings first, then we can go for that stuff later. Hopefully it's clear whoever asked the question. Just give me a thumbs up. Otherwise, I will send you the link how to do that, obviously. Perfect. And let's go back to the evaluation. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, cheers. Okay, let's create a new form. Again, we start with the title, compliance form. And in this section, we're going to put compliance again, because we probably have only two questions. That's the reason. So we talked about subsection. Other one is add question. So then, oh, next one I forgot to tell you. You could add instruction to evaluator, anything you want to check here. So for now, I'm just going to keep it empty. Click on add question. So first question, I'll put it here as well. Did the agent greet the customer per training guideline? Very simple question. So if you would like to basically copy it from me, I just post it in the chat. Of course, you could type anything you like. It's not, what's answer is normally yes or no. It's single answer. Did the customer say that yes or no? So I'm just going to say yes or no. It's pretty simple thing. We'll talk about the scoring later. I'll come to the later scoring and automation. So it's normally in general in contact center, that's what we do, manual flow. Did somebody greet the customers? Answer is yes or no. Great. That's my first question. The next question is, did the agent maintain, is the agent sentiment is good during the entire conversation of the call? So to do that, I'm going to create one more question. Did the agent maintain positive sentiment throughout the call? This would require you to check the call overall to see how is it doing. So again, yes and no question. I created everything. I would like to know how exactly looks like. To do that, click on preview. You can see that's what it's going to look like. So this, everything you create an evaluation form, once you open up your contact lens records, contact records, you have an option to put this form on every call. You can manually do that. That's a manual form you would have created. You can see from the training, etc., all straightforward, but we're not doing manual now. We can do automation. So let's see how it's going to work now. So I talked about answers, straightforward. It's all clear for you. Before I go to the next step, are you all okay with this so far? Any questions? Everybody's in the same page. Create any two questions. For now, make it very simple. Thank you. Thanks for giving a thumbs up. Did the agent greet the customer? Did the agent make the positive sentiment? So as simple as that. Great. Okay. Now I would like to put a scoring on both the questions because you want to score the thing. We'll come to the later scoring and weights. Before that, let's look in the automation part. So how we can automate it, if you're wondering. If you're not like a real world, I would ask the question how to do that. It's basically what's the rule we created before. In the contact lens, we created a rule wherein like we are kind of categorizing how a call comes and how we are categorizing anybody saying like a welcome message, etc., in a single category. So we're going to use the rule and we're going to use an evaluation form. To do that, add condition, enter the category you created. It's got to be the exact same name. I believe it's general and greeting. I will check it out. So apply. If you're wondering how to check it, go to your rules again. So in the post call chat, it's called general welcome. You see here? Go back here. It's not greeting. It's general
And
welcome.
Prabhu, also when you turn on the full automation, it will also double check for you too for any
Absolutely.
error for
Indeed.
automation.
Absolutely. Indeed. Thank you, Zing. Yeah, of course. Yeah. It's good to make the mistake. So you will see like that how exactly it's going to work. So perfect. So make sure you look at the exact name of it and add that here. So if this one is present and I'm going to say yes, by default, my answer is no. If somebody agent says this message is there, then the answer is yes. That is agent greeted the customer per training guidelines. You don't need to do manually. We can automate that using the contact lens rule. So this is great. We use a contact lens to do the automation. In the second one, we don't even have a contact lens rules here because we already have that information built in with an evaluation form. That means we don't need to create a rules for everything. For maintaining positive sentiment, if you know contact lens, you see that the value is like either between -5 to 5. You can use the data in this automation. How to do that? So it's a number. So let's go for a number here. It's important. If you have a single selection, you will not get that. So you're going to go for a number. The minimum value is -5 to 5. That's the contact lens data. Just put it in here. Click on number in the question, -5 to 5. In the automation part, click on automation. you have multiple options to use. You can use the contact data. You can use non-talk time, multiple stuff. We're going to use the overall sentiment of the customer. Just click on overall sentiment of the customer. Let me know you're here. Just give me a thumbs up if anybody completed this one. Awesome. So basically, if somebody has a question, I had multiple times I couldn't see it because I had a single selection instead of a number. So great. Yeah, thanks for that. Perfect. So let's make it again. -5 to 5. Awesome. Okay. We did automation. We need a score. Which question has a which score, etc. And we also need to create it here. To do that, come to scoring and weights, which is next to section question. So just click on that and click on enable scoring. I guess both the question carries 50%. Let's leave it there. Of course, in the real world, you probably have like a multiple way you want to score, which question is more important. For now, let's keep it 50-50. That's fine. And if you want to change it, that's also absolutely fine with me. Once you've done that, go back here. You probably get some errors. That's by reason, because you got to enable the scoring. So let me know once you enable the scoring. You don't need to change it. If you want to change it, that's fine as well. Come back here. I'll give it a couple of seconds for everybody. Any questions? I can't see it. I guess my colleagues are answering, which is great.
We are good, Prabha. No
Okay,
questions.
perfect. Yeah, let's give us a couple of seconds for people. So once you enable the scoring, come back here and open up your scoring. So scoring is straightforward. It's basically simple. Did the customer agree the agent per customer, which basically means, yeah, he did a good job, so basically make it 10. Did the customer agree the customer, and that if the rule is not there, we're going to make it, just make it 1. If you want, you can fail them as well, but I'm just keeping it 1 for now. Still, I want to mark them. Let's not fail completely. So that's a scoring for the first one. The next one is a little more complex, which I'm going to explain in detail. So let me know if you did the scoring. Basically, you'll run an error, click on scoring, and if anybody else says yes, the score is 10, no, 1. Perfect. Yeah, great. Thank you. That is great. Now we have a range. -5 is really bad. 0 is neutral. 5 is like the top. The agent has like good sentiment throughout the call. So let's start with adding a range between that's a negative score. I would like to give like a really low score. That's like everything negative sentiment. So -1, I would say add a range. Click on add a range. That would be 0 to 5. So we have 3 range here. That is -5 to 1, which is negative, -1 to 0, yeah, which is neutral, 0 to 5, that's a positive. To do that, you can add the range. You can change whatever range you like. So I'm giving for negative thing is 1. For anything close to neutral, 2. Other one is when it's positive, I'm going to make it 10. And of course, you can give any score you like. It's more for testing purposes. Let me know done here. This is a bit tricky with the, oh, great. Yeah, somebody already thumbs upping. So the main thing is like, you got to make sure that ranges are understandable. So the main thing I would like to say is like ranges, you need to keep it whatever. And one more thing is in evaluation farm, you can use the contact lens rules. We saw that before, and we can also use the inbuilt data from the contact lens, which you saw here. We use the agent sentiment. There are multiple stuff here as well. So Great. We are done with both. One thing I didn't talk about the display option, so I will show that. You can think like you would like to have a radio button or a drop down. You can decide whatever you like. So I'm going to leave it. Once you're done with that, final option, I'll talk a few minutes. Just let me know if you're done with this. What we did is we created a form wherein we automated instead of manually checking on 2 factors. We created scores, etc. If I publish it, it's great. I can go in, I can evaluate all the forms. I see like each and every form I can do that, but I still need to do for each and every call manually. But when you look at our use cases, like I would like to automatically evaluate all the form and somebody escalating that. I can't do that, like even with an Amazon Connect, like a few months back. Now, with the full automation, you can do that. To do that, you can already see here is enable full automation evaluation. I'm gonna make it on. Okay, let's see what error I got. Okay, oops. Okay, I didn't save it. Interesting. Perfect. Yeah, I didn't save that. Great. Okay, now it's good. So, interesting couple of questions. Yeah, a couple of questions interesting. So you need to have like you can do fully automation only for all the automated question. If you want to do it manually, you got to create a 2 form. If you listen to Zing's demo yesterday, you would have saw that. So now we're only looking at the automated form only. You can create a manual form, but you can't fully automate it per se. So that's the only difference. You need to have a full automation. Sorry, you need to have a rules to do a full automation. It's perfect. Once you're done with that, let's save. So I'll give a minute to everybody. So just give me a thumbs up if you are able to save this one. You should see, okay, perfect. Wow, somebody's fast. Yeah, it's a hard in the webinar because I can't say anybody, but it's great. I got a couple of thumbs up, which is great. So important piece here is like now, evaluation form is created, we're going to activate it. Until you activate it, won't be visible in the contact records. To do that, click on activate. There you go. You will get the screen. Okay, I'm doing a full automation. Okay, do I need to automate for every single call? Do I need to automate for like any particular scenarios? That's the reason you need to have a rule to do an automation. You could decide to automate on all my frontline group. You can decide to automate on a particular rule. But our scenario is we can automate when somebody says like, I would like to escalate to a supervisor, any supervisor, they want to talk to supervisor. That's the reason we're going to automate the form. So basically every single call coming with this category will be automated. To do that, click on yes. It will open up another tab. So just give me a thumbs up if you see the screen. Perfect. Amazing. Thank you. Okay. Pretty simple. Again, a post chat, please. We're going to use the chat only here. So a contact lens post chat analysis. Click on that. Add a condition again. Words or phrases exact match. Import from word collection. We're going to search for escalation. So a contact lens post call chat analytics is available. That's when. In the condition, we're going to go for import from word collection. That's escalation. Click on add. It will basically give you all the phrases wherein you want to like to escalate to manager. If you want, you can just add more phrases you like, but but you can import it directly from word collections. So once it's done, click on next. I'm going to say evaluation form, escalation. Again, it could be any name to supervisor. So this name could be anything. The main thing is like you creating a word collection. Yeah. Click on add action. That's very important here. So we're gonna do a complete automation on the form whenever this rule is triggered. Compliance form. Click on next. Just to make it everybody in the same page. So we imported the word collection. We went for next. You give any category name. Very, very important is add action. I'll give the link how to do that. It's add an action and submit automation and choose the form. You probably have only one form and click on next, save and publish. So we are done. We close to done. So what we did is like create a rule, create a form, and we enable the full automation. Now create a rule to do an automation. So for example here, you don't need to do this. I just want to show you a few things. For example, go for the condition. Instead of that, you say like, I would like to automate the entire queue. You can basically do that as well. So now our scenario is based on condition, but if required, you can automate the entire queue. So I'm not saving that. So we got two rules. That is, one is a general rule, other one is the escalation rule, which will automate evaluation. Just give me a thumbs up once you're done here. If you're done here, that's great, because after that we need to do testing. It's perfect. Let's everybody let's give a couple of, okay, awesome. There are more than 3 people who will be testing it.
Hey, Prabha, quick question from
Yeah.
Shashi.
Yeah.
So which word collection did you use for this one?
It's called escalation. So let me show that, Sashi. So in the word collections, search for escalation. Again, new capability came in. It's a pre-built stuff. So just once you click on it, click on add, it will automatically create for you. Once you do this, actually, to go for the next page, this is the important piece. So I'll let you import it first. Once you completed that, assign any category name and add an action and click a submit automation evaluation and choose your form. Is it good, Sashi? Are you good? Vikash, is Shashi okay now?
I don't see a new response.
Okay.
But I think we can go ahead. Quick
Okay.
time check, Prabha. So like
yeah, we're good. We are in the fun part now because so we're going to do the testing. So
awesome.
we'll just go on. So here we go.
Sure.
Perfect. All right, guys. So we are close to time. So we're just going to go for testing now straight away. So we completed everything. We're going to test it. So to do that, I created a sample transcript. I'm going to send it to everybody. You don't need to follow the same, but yeah, but you need to have similar. So you need to like either say welcome. The main thing is like escalation. You got to say in the escalation part. So how to test it? Go for home. Here, test chat. Test settings. That's important here. We're going to go for demo basic CF. This call flow. It's very important. It's already been created for you. click on apply. Great. So home, test settings, demo basic CF, apply. We are actually manipulating a real life web page here. So this is the website, this is the customer. So just allow. Give me a thumbs up once you are here. Awesome. So key really here is picking up the right group. Call flow. It's great. Yeah, thanks. I mean, amazing. Now, if you're ready, let's do the testing. So we have that chat transcript, so I'm make it available. Chat will come to you. I'm going to click on accept. Let's basically play out the scenario. Oops, I've got two chat. Wait, let's not worry about it. Let me disconnect one. Okay. So I got a call. First thing I got to do is like, I'm going to welcome the customer. So I'm going to basically play out this one. So I have a trouble with my login. Let's see whether my agent can help. So you can type in. So I have trouble. So as an agent, I'm going to look. Let me see if I can help. Unfortunately, as an agent, my system is not working. I'm going to say the customer. Unfortunately, I cannot. Fortunately, my system is not working, or whatever you like. I can't help. I cannot help you. So this is done. Now I'm saying I'm going to escalate it now. So let's put the escalation. I would like to escalate this issue, and I need to speak to a supervisor. So there we go. And I'll say like, accidentally, I'm going to end the call. So that's the testing. So I put the chat on the testing. You can do a testing. I'll give a couple of minutes. And during the time, I will show you my screen, how exactly it's working, etc. So it takes like a few minutes to contact lens to work, and all the automation submission is going to happen. But while you're testing, one scenario we're not going to test today is like, we can also talk about auditing, etc. We're not going to talk about it. So what we did is we simply tested it. We had a simple flow in which, as a customer, I had a trouble. Agent couldn't solve it. I escalate the issue. In contact lens, if you're wondering how to see my all my transcript, that's under contact search. You see your transcript. It takes a while to come in, but I'll let you guys do the finish testing. Once you finish testing, come to contact search after a couple of minutes, and you will see the full evaluation happening. So for any question, just let me know. For the folks, what we did so far from the beginning is we created a rule, we created a form, we enabled the full automation, and we created rules for automation saying that anybody escalate, I want to only automate the call where somebody's escalating. That's a rule we created, and now we tested it. So yeah, I'll let you test everyone. The scenario, the key thing you got to keep in mind is like, thank you for calling. That's important stuff. That's one rule to trigger. And the second one is like escalation rule. That is, I would like to escalate to my supervisor anything you created. As such, he asked like from the import word, you saw like multiple different wording. You got to pick a couple of the wording: supervisor, escalation, etc., etc. Once you come there, it takes a few minutes, as I said, and I will show you how exactly looks like in the contact lens. So any questions so far? Jonathan, Vikas, any question from the chat?
Yeah, I see a few questions from Rupa, like how much time the contact lens takes. So there is like she mentioned it took like a 10-minute once, and that could be normal based on like how
Size of the
long was the
call.
call
So
duration.
basically, it is dependent on the size of the call, Rupa. So
Right, if it's a 10 minutes call or like 15, 20 minutes call, it might be 10 minutes sounds reasonable for those use cases. If you're 1 minute call and you 10-minute in that scenario seems not very optimal.
got
So
it.
that's one question, Prabha. And then there's one question like I came to the from Sashi, he came to the homepage of the rules, how to run the test from here. So he wants to understand how to run the test. So maybe you can just show him like how do we initiate the chat. So from going to the home page, Sashi, you can initiate a test chat. It's just like any chat if you're familiar already, and you have to just trigger a rule so that you can test this out.
Yeah. So, Shashi, what's the question again? One more time.
So Sashi wants to know how to test this. So maybe on the home page you can show Prabha like, okay, how to initiate a chat.
Okay.
But main thing is actually you need to use any words from that rule that you created, the escalation rule. You can copy any like sentence from there, right? So that that rule gets triggered. You can pick anything that Prabha is showing here on the screen, and
Yeah.
then you can use that in your chat.
Oh, okay. Perfect. So, so there's a testing, Rupa. You could go here. So main thing, Rupa, first thing is got to look is like your rules. Post chat. See as in, okay. There is a one thing I missed here, guys. If you're wondering, I create a rule based on an agent, not as a customer. So basically this goal is look only on the agent perspective. So it will not be on the customer. I'm not sure anybody followed my same thing. So basically make it as a customer, please. So make it as a customer. Did anybody did the agent or a customer here? So basically you want to look into agent perspective, not a customer perspective. So it's very important that you're looking at the customer. So I put as an agent. So I click on next, click on next, click on save and publish. So which I made a mistake, but that's okay. So I probably need to test it again quickly. I'll do the testing. It should be only take a few minutes. So if you do the same mistake, just go for the same testing again. We'll do it quite quickly. Because the rule need to look at the customer perspective, not agent perspective. So let's look into that. I'm going to say thank you for a welcoming message. Did everyone create the rules based on an agent or customer? Just give us a thumbs up if you create for a customer. If not, everybody did the agent. That's fine. You got to change it. Any company. I'm going to say my password is not working. I'm going to say that I can't solve the issue. Similar thing I sent you before, same scenario. It's very important. Now I'm going to escalate. So it's good. Let's say like, I'm going to disconnect. So basically, in the previous rule, I looked in only for an agent, which is not correct because you want to escalate, you want to do from a customer perspective. I changed the transcript now. I will be ready in 2 or 3 minutes, so then we can check it. So anybody did the
That's a
testing?
very, I want to share, there's a very common user error when you are detecting keywords, and because the default is set to agent, so to make sure you always capture, if you want to capture what's the main call drivers from your customers, please, make sure you have a customer there. Yeah.
Indeed. Thank you, Zing. Yeah, indeed. It's you learn from a mistake, and again, always look for, you can go for either or. In some other scenario, you got to look at the keywords from both the places. So you have an option to do both as well. So yeah, perfect. So anybody did the testing? so far? Give me a thumbs up. Able
I
to
see someone mentioned they have issue connecting to the network. Is it
Awesome.
connecting to the workshop or sorry?
I see a few
Okay.
thumbs up.
Looks
Although
someone succeeded. Yeah.
yeah, there's someone, yeah. Wouldn't follow me, actually did his own way, so which is he or she, so which is good.
It's always good to do it in person. I understand, Prabhu. Sorry.
No, it's good like somebody didn't follow me because that's why they did correctly. So which is great.
I just want to mention, because this is mostly post call and analytics, it will take several minutes to trigger and finish the evaluation. But right now, probably if we go to search for contact is in progress.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you will probably see the chat ongoing. So it looks like it's already completed for the chat, right?
Yes, it's going to take a few
Is
minutes.
that the one you just finished?
Just got to wait a bit. Yeah, you can see with the in progress and completed both. So let me click on the chat. Yeah, there you go. I got escalation rule. So 8 way. So now when you click on evaluation, you see here, now it's automatically happening. I don't need to do anything. System is automatically happening here. So it's again the question from again Rupa asked a question, I guess. It's going to take another few minutes after the contact lens is evaluated. Now we're setting auto trigger. One thing I really want to say is like the question I get from a lot of customers is how I know it's automatically evaluated. What is the scenario? You see here, this is done by contact lens evaluation. In a real world, if you do it, it'll be your name. That is a D user, Prabhakar, Jonathan, Zing, or Vikas. Here, you can see that it's done by contact lens automation, which basically tells like, I didn't do that. It's done by contact lens. So that's the thing. It's going to take a few minutes, and you will see it right here that all your questions are answered automatically without even you touching it. And you have an option to override it if required. If you think that the answer, the rules were not correct, you're not happy with the evaluation, etc., you can absolutely do that. You're going to see that in a way. So you have an option to override it. Once you do the override, you will see your name like you did the override on top of the evaluation form. So it's exactly take the same amount of time how long the contact lens takes. So it's probably 2 or 3 minutes. So it started at 49. It's probably to finish at 52 or 53. Any questions in the QA? So we have 9 more minutes. Before that, we'll have it ready. And of course, any questions you have, you reach out to your account team, your SAs. They will be more than happy to help you out for sure. And one more thing is like you will have this workshop available for next 24 hours. You can play around and let us know if you have any questions.
So while the evaluation is ongoing, I just want to let everybody know that we have a new feature that you will be able to allow your agent to check their own contacts and see the evaluation result. I know I got a disconnect from the audio. Yeah.
You're good, Zing. I can hear you.
Okay. There is a couple questions I would like to cover in the Q&A. Probably, I'm sorry. We're still waiting for the result to be
We're
ready.
waiting for the results, yeah. So let's look at the questions, yeah.
Yeah. I'll read a couple questions and answer. So there are customers asking, okay, what is the data requirement for the historical data? I have shared the document. There are a couple
sorry, if that's
Go
okay.
ahead. Yes.
So it's completed now. So as I said, it's 53 hours spot on. So it took exactly the same time now the contact lens rules. The form is completed. Let me click on that. Let me show you how exactly it looks like. So there you go. I gave a score 100 because I give the good points for both the thing, but that's not the important piece. What's important here is you saw the agent sentiment, that is 0. That's really gathered from a contact lens here. and the agent did the greeting. Of course, he did the thank you for calling. So you got the tool was triggered. So you got both the thing automatically created and your evaluation form. For some reason, you think that's not correct, you can basically change it if required. So I'm going to make it negative. Click on submit. What's going to you see here? The score has completely changed to 55, and you see that it's changed by me. There is no more contact center user that has been updated. So now you see that the changes happen to the evaluation form. So that's an option you have. And your use case was, our idea was to automate all the calls where customer are escalating. Now that's what happened. When the call came in, as a customer, I told I would like escalate the call. This call was automatically evaluated, like, because that's the rule we created. And interestingly, the previous call I did wasn't evaluated because there was no rule set on the agent. That was nothing was happened. You still got to do manually. Here, it did automatically because the rule is triggered. So that's really the difference. And obviously, in the real world, you can decide to automate your entire queue level. You can do it on a particular conditions as we did here. It's really up to you. So yeah, please run it. I'm looking at 5 more minutes. I know we need to take a question, etc. Please run it and let us know if you have any question, obviously. Zing, do you like to close it? We have 5 more minutes.
Yes, I'm going to show a couple slides to wrap it up, and before we do the Q&A. I hope everybody enjoyed the workshop, learned how to do it, and you will be able to play a little more, right? We will keep the data for another day.
It'll be available for next 24 hours, so please test it and just let us know how it goes. Yeah.
Awesome.
And just give me a thumbs up, like anybody reached this far before I get to Zing. It's probably take a while for you guys. So there you go. Okay, very cool.
Thank you. Somebody.
That's good. Thank you so much. Yeah, I see a couple
Great.
of people. Awesome. All right, Zing, let me give the floor to you.
All right, I'm going to start sharing a couple slides. I would like the team to be aware. Now today you have went through some of the forecast and capacity planning details and also a quality assurance automation as well. Again, we have free tiers for those functions. First 90 days free for your forecasting, capacity planning, scheduling. Once you click that enable button, that's where the 90 days begins. So definitely we'll share some. If you want to reach out to your account team, etc., we'll share the best practice. Make sure you have the POC planning before you start the 90 days. We'll definitely have more materials there. Quality assurance, which is the evaluation, will have 30 days for free where you first started using it by the end of this year. For the contact and conversational analytics, which is required for your automation, we also have a new rule that we will be able to. So can everybody see my slide?
Yes, we can.
All right, awesome. And we also have for the first 2 months you're using your conversational analytics, you will get 100,000 minutes analyzed for free for the first 2 months. But make sure that's a new account, right? For to using contactless conversational analytics. Of course, we also have a preview for Zero ETO data lake, which will give you all the data you need and speaking the same language. So there's a lot of new things coming up. You can try experience our service for a free POC. Okay, so those are the offers we have. For next week, we'll have a contact center day that is on May 2nd. So please use this QR code to log in, and we will share even more exciting news, Gen AI, automation, and analytics. So please dial in. We'll have some new announcements there at this event. And the last one, I would like to show, please fill out the survey. Your feedback is very important to us, and we definitely would like to improve our sessions every time. So please use this QR code. So Jonathan, can you paste that survey link in the chat window as well, please?
Yep, it's there.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. Yes. So we really appreciate your feedback, and make sure we will always improve our experience for you. And okay, with that, I would like to say thank you to everyone. We'll stay this page on a little bit more, but hopefully you enjoy the demo and also the workshop. For anyone that have not get some of the question answered, we definitely will follow up. And the recording, a lot of people asking, is the session will be recorded? Yes, it's recorded. Once our marketing approve for publication, we'll share the link with you. I think we have 1 more minute. There's couple of things that we have talked about the blocks, right? The workshops. We will also send a follow-up email with the blocks, the link to the forecasting, capacity planning, scheduling, and the QA automation workshop as well. So you have both links. All right, with that, I would like to wrap up today's session. Thank you so much, Vikas, Jonathan, Prabha. Awesome job. And thank you for spending 2 hours with us. Really appreciate it. I'll see you next week.